Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my beautiful hot messes. My name is Mrs. Lavender, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I read. If you're looking for my other YouTube, just go to A Beautiful Hot Mess, AYE Beautiful Hot Mess. But if you're at the right place, let's begin. I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I'm on page 140 under the transition 2. Let's start. In the late 1910s, some of the best swindlers in America formed a con artist ring based in Denver, Colorado. In the winter months, they would spread across the southern states, plying their trade. In 1920, Joe Fury, a leader of the ring, was working his way through Texas, making hundreds of thousands of dollars with classic con games. In Fort Worth, he met a sucker named J. Frank Norfleet, a cattleman who owned a large ranch. Norfleet fell for the con. Convinced of the riches to come, he emptied his bank account of $45,000 and handed it over to Fury and his Confederates. A few days later, they gave him his millions, which turned out to be a few good dollars wrapped around a packet of newspaper clippings. Fury and his man had worked such cons 100 times before, and the sucker was usually so embarrassed by his ability that he quietly learned his lesson and accepted his loss. But Norfleet was not like the other suckers. He went to the police, who told him there was little he could do. He went to the police, who told him that there was little he could do. Then I'll go to the police myself, Norfleet told the detectives. I'll get them too, if it takes the rest of my life. His wife took over the ranch as Norfleet scoured the country, looking for others who had been fleeced in the same game. One such sucker came forward, and the two men identified one of the con artists in San Francisco, and managed to get him locked up. The man committed suicide rather than face a long term in prison. Norfleet kept going. He tracked down another of the con artists in Montana, roped him like a calf, and dragged him through the muddy streets in the town jail. He traveled not only across the country, but to England, Canada, and Mexico in search of Joe Fury, and also Fury's right-hand man, W.B. Spencer. Finding Spencer in Montreal, Norfleet chased him through the streets. Spencer escaped, but the rancher stayed on his trail and caught up with him in Salt Lake City. Oh, not the camera went down. Preferring the mercury of the law of Norfleet's wrath. Spencer turned himself in. Fleet found Fury in Jacksonville, Florida, and personally hauled him off to face justice in Texas. But he wouldn't stop there. He continued on to Denver, determined to break up the entire thing, spending not only large sums of money, but another year of his life in the pursuit. He managed to pull all the con ringleaders behind bars. Even some he didn't catch had grown so terrified of him that they turned themselves in. After 5 years of hunting, Norfleet had single-handedly destroyed the country's largest confederation of con artists. The effort bankrupted him and ruined his marriage, but he died a satisfied man. Interpretation: most men accept the humiliation of being conned with a sense of resignation. They learned their lesson, recognizing that there is no such thing as a free lunch, and that they have usually been bought down by their own greed for easy money. Some, however, refuse to take their medicine. Instead of reflecting on their own gullibility and avarice, they see themselves as totally innocent victims. Men like this may seem to be crusaders for justice and honesty, but they are actually moderately insecure. Being fooled, being conned has activated their self-doubt, and they are desperate to repair the damage. Were the mortgage on Norfleet's ranch, the collapsing of his marriage, and the years of borrowing money and living in cheap hotels worth his revenge over his embarrassment at being fleeced? To the Norfleets of the world, overcoming their embarrassment is worth any price. All people have insecurities, but often the best way to deceive a sucker is to play upon his insecurities. But in the realm of power, everything is a question of degree, and the person who is decidedly more insecure than the average mortal presents great dangers. Be warned, if you practice deception or trickery of any sort, study your mark well. Some people's insecurity and ego fragility cannot tolerate the slightest offense. To see if you are dealing with such a type, test them first. Make, say, a mild joke at their expense. A confident person will laugh. An overly insecure person will react as if personally insulted. If you suspect you're dealing with this type, find another victim. I'm stopping there. Transgression number 3. I'm ending at page 141. Yeah, I'm not reading too long, but I'm out the draft. But again, my name is Mistress Lavender. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and comment. And I'll see you next video because I post every day. Bye.